This is Season 3 of The Score, the Team Roping Journal's regular podcast, where the team roping world talks. We've told the stories of some of the greatest cowboys, horses, and moments in the sport, and we're so far from done. In 2020, we'll bring you more of what you've come to expect, like interviews with the best cowboys and cowgirls we know, and we'll dive even deeper into subjects you care about. Look for more audio editions of the Team Roping Journal stories you might have missed in print, and learn about the great horses shaping the sport and great challenges facing our industry. All this and more in 2020. I'm Chelsea Schaefer. My guest on The Score today is one of the American Quarter Horse Association's winningest ropers in horse show competition, as well as an NFR-qualifying tie-down roper and World Series of Team Roping finale place winner, C.R. Bradley. Bradley is originally from Hilliard, Ohio, but he got to the Lonestar state of Texas as fast as he could to pursue his roping career. He took with him a little roan mare that his family raised that would eventually make a pretty big splash across the roping world in Twister Enola Gay, otherwise known as Roanie. She carried him from his first AQHA Youth World Championship to the college finals to his first NFR, and then she eventually carried Tuf Cooper to 2 gold buckles. Bradley also won the AQHA Super Horse in 2014 as the only owner, breeder, trainer to ever win it on Roanie's colt, Twister's Enola Rey. The NFR calf roper is spending just as much time heading and heeling these days as he is roping calves, and you can find him at the World Series ropings behind Jackie Crawford, as well as spin and steers at the rodeos. Here's C.R. Bradley. Today's episode is brought to you by ManaPro. At ManaPro, they believe in nurturing life. Since 1985, ManaPro has been committed to providing high-quality, wholesome feeds, supplements, and treats to your horses at every stage of their lives. Their passion is happy, healthy pets, and they're your trusted partners just for that. So thank you so much for being on the podcast this morning. This is C.R. Bradley, and he is on The Score. C.R., where are you today?
I'm at home. I've been training horses this morning.
Gotcha. And what are your hours like training horses? Have you been up riding for 4 hours at this point, or what's your...
So starting last week, it got really hot, so been getting up about 5:30 in the morning, and I've been roping calves this morning.
Gotcha. How many training horses do you have in right now?
I have 8 customers' horses, and then I have a few of my own too.
And as far as what are you guys getting ready for? I know the schedule has been a little different this year. What are you working on?
Right. So the horse shows are a little slow. We do have a rope horse futurity coming up over the 4th of July in Tulsa. And I have a couple of young horses that are going to go to it. I have a calf horse and a head horse and a heel horse for the futurity.
So how much calf roping do you do versus how much heading and heeling do you do?
It's about even now. And some of my show horses do all 3 events. And I did more calf roping and rodeos when I was younger. Now I've gotten older, and now I'm starting to team rope more too. Yeah.
And you're an 8 heeler?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Gotcha.
8 heeler. Yep.
Very good. Well, now I kind of just jumped right in, but I want to take a step back. You were from Ohio. I'm from Pennsylvania. So are you from Hilliard, Ohio?
What's that?
You're from Hilliard, Ohio originally?
I was born in Hilliard, Ohio. Then I grew up. I spent some time. My dad teaches at the University of Findlay in Findlay, Ohio, and we lived there for a while. Then I moved to Richmond, Indiana, where my mom lives on her family farm. And we trained horses there for a while. Then as soon as I got out of high school, I moved to Texas. And then
Go ahead.
I went to college a couple years in Gainesville, Texas, and then went to OSU for a few years. And then when I rodeoed, I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Lived there for 4 years. And then after I quit rodeoing, I moved to Collinsville, Texas. To train
now,
horses.
when you were in Ohio, I know you probably went to the Congress a lot. And did you show horses at the Congress?
Yeah, I have. And actually, I think I've showed every year since I was 9 years old. I still go back to it.
Yeah, I was looking at your website. I realized you did. I love the Congress. It's like home to me.
It is.
So, and did you high school rodeo in Ohio too?
I did, in Indiana.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
What?
And for 4 years. Yeah.
What made you make the jump to Texas? I mean, was it a no-brainer? Was that always part of your plan?
Definitely the roping so much bigger out here. So as soon as I could get out of high school, I moved as fast as I could.
Who helped you when you got started in Texas?
I worked for Robbie Schroeder for a few years when I was in Gainesville.
Gotcha.
And then I skipped around a lot of different horse trainers through college and worked with a lot of different horse trainers.
Was that intentional? Were you trying to learn as much as you could at that point?
Yeah, and I think I knew more horse trainers than I did the rodeo people at the time. So it was a place to go rope and to learn. So
and your parents your dad is a reiner, right? How did that reining background affect what parts of it have you taken it with you?
It really helped learning how to get the horses broke. And I think that's a big part of the rope. Having good rope horses, first they need to be broke and before you rope on them, and makes it a lot easier to rope on them.
I hear, like, you know, when I'm talking to guys that train rope horses and NFR kind of ropers and NFR kind of headers and heelers, sometimes they say that they don't really like the reining influence as much as, say, the cutting or the cow horse.
Actually, I don't like the reiners anymore either.
Really?
Because their heads are too low. Well, 20 years ago when I was working with my dad, the reiners were different. Their heads were up more and they were more broke. And now that their heads are down and they're kind of on the front ends, and they just, I don't know. I don't get along with the reiners much anymore either. I like working with the reining cow horses, and probably the most. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your program now, and like, do you send your 2-year-olds off to cow horse people? Like, what's your program look like?
Yeah, I don't like riding them when they're early too. I like to have them broke for 90, 120 days first before I ride them, because I don't like getting bucked off anymore. But I do like the cow horse. But I do like the cow horse style. I mean, I like them really broke, but I like them where their shoulders are up. I want their head up, but to bring their nose back and to go into the bridle where they keep their shoulders up and they drive their hind end up underneath them. So, and the cow horse people do that really well. So that's how I like to get mine broke first, is get them going into the bit and picked up and balanced where they're working off their hind end.
Gotcha. And then what do you do with them? Do you take them straight to the sled? How do they progress from when
I ride them for a while. Like, I ride them for at least a year before I probably start roping on them. Usually when they're sometime in their 3, I go to the Hilliard and rope the Hilliard for a month or so. Then I start them on real slow cows. And I like even my calf horses, I like to heel on them first just because it's slower and easier. So I like to heel on most of them first, and then when they understand going out of the box and I can come out of the box easy, then I'll start backing calves around the arena and roping them.
Gotcha. What kind of cattle do you keep around? Do you keep natives around? Tell me about your cattle.
Yeah, so I have Corianis, team rope, and I have a couple that are about 5 or 6 years old that are really slow and really good. They're my favorite ones to rope on the young horses. And then I keep some fresh ones, and then I keep calves. I try to keep some Jersey around. They're slow. They kind of it's hard in the summer because they don't survive very well.
Yeah.
And then I keep some beef calves, and I like team roping the dairy calves when they get a little bit too big to calf rope. I really like team roping the Jersey calves. Yeah. I think it's great for the head horses and heel horses because they're a little bit lighter. They kind of you can rope around the neck and they push down the arena a little bit. And you can dally on them, and it's not too hard on the horses. And I think they're great to rope.
Now, how many people does it take to keep your operation going? How many hands do you have around there? What's your crew look like?
Sometimes I have help. And like if I have help, usually it's a team roper that I can team rope with that helps saddle and lope horses, and also I can team rope with. Right now, I'm just down to the stall cleaner, and my wife usually helps, but she hurt her back a couple of months ago and she hasn't been much help this summer. But right now it's just me, and I've been trying to ride about 8 a day.
Oh wow.
So.
Gosh. And now, do you get to sneak off to World Series quite often, or what's your?
I do. I've roped with Jackie Crawford quite a bit at the World Series. And lately, well, Mesquite Rodeo's just starting up, and I'm heading for Steve Ross at the rodeos that are close by.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gotcha.
I like heading at the rodeos.
You do? I didn't realize. I guess just because I've always seen your name in the Healing results that I thought.
Yeah. But basically, we go to Mesquite, and my summer is basically Mesquite, Northside, and a few amateurs that are close by.
Do you have any rodeo goals left, or any goals in general left?
I would like to become a better header. I still got a lot of work to do. I kind of slowed down calf roping a couple years ago. I've always had really good calf horses around, but I'm getting older now, and it's a lot of work to flank and tie calves. So I've been working on my team roping.
Gotcha.
And I would like to get a lot better, but I still got a lot of work to do.
Gotcha. We're going to take a break from this interview to talk about Cetal M, the joint health supplement. Champions, colleagues, and personal trainers. Whatever role they play, they're an important part of our lives. And as much as we count on them, they count on us all the more. Cetal M Joint Supplements for Horses is a new approach to joint health, powered by omega-5 fatty acids, which helps maintain healthy joints by reducing inflammation and promoting positive immune response. Cetal M uses an optimal blend of plant-derived cetyl myristoyl, glucosamine, and MSM for superior results. Visit scorejointhealth.com for your $10 off coupon. For tough rides and long hauls, they're here to make your horse's lives the best they can be. ManaPro, nurturing life. Remember, it's scorejointhealth.com for a $10 off coupon. What has been the greatest horse you've ever had?
Probably Roanie. She's the one I made the NFR on in 2004 in the calf roping. And then Tuf Cooper rode her at the NFR 2 or 3 times.
Sure.
And then she won the world show 4 times in the senior calf roping. She was reserve world champion in the junior healing once. And she produced the AQHA Super Horse too.
What was the AQHA Super Horse that she produced? Which horse was that?
Twister Enola Gay. We won it in 2014. He won the junior calf roping and reserve in the junior healing.
That's cool. And Roanie was a horse that you had raised, or that your family?
I raised her. Yeah,
it's
my dad and I raised her. So her mom I won my first Youth World Championship in the heading on her mom when I was 13. And then this Roanie was her first baby. So we raised her. My dad showed her at the reining futurity when she was 3, and then I started roping on her when she was 4.
That's amazing. What a cool horse.
And then I rodeoed on her. I started hauling her when I was in college, and she helped me get to the NFR.
What made her so good? What set her apart?
She tried really, really hard every time. She really good stop, and she really tried.
How many colts do you have out of her?
She's only had 4.
Gotcha.
The first one is in Arizona and is a team roping horse. We sold them, we raised them, and then the other one. So our vet, we traded out embryos. He got an embryo out of a nick in the bud, and it's a Iranian cow horse, and it's a really good one. They show it in the Select World show. I think he lives in Ardmore. And the third one was the Super Horse, and I sold him after I won the Super Horse to Monty Freeman, and he's in Tulsa, and he shows them in amateur calf roping. And then the last one's a Lion's Share of Fame, and she's 5, and I'm heading and barrel racing on her, and she's going to be really, really good. I really like her. I
love those Lion's Share of Fame horses. That's a neat cross.
They are.
And a cross. Yeah. That was what I would have thought you would have said, but that's cool.
Yeah, she feels like she's more of a runner than the rest of them. She's a little different, but I really like her. She's a roan mare. She's the only mare that we've had out of her.
Gotcha. And so is Roanie still around?
Yeah, Roanie's 28, and she's still sound. Thanks to Cetal M, she's still still sound. We ride her every once in a while.
Yeah.
But she's doing great.
What's other, so you said CEDALM, she gets CEDALM daily probably, is that daily part of her program? And then what else throughout her career to keep her sound?
We also feed oxygen. Oxygen and CEDALM are my favorite. And she's never been on, like, haven't had her on Previcox. She's only had one injury. When she was, I think 18 or 19, she tore a sesamoid ligament, and that was her only injury her whole life. And she's been sound other than that, she's been sound her whole life.
That's awesome. Now, as far as, I mean, she's obviously been so amazing throughout her career, and everybody, I remember obviously Tuf riding her at the NFR, and that was such a big deal then. But where are you as far as, are you enjoying the horse show side of things? And is that where you really want to continue, like with the rope horse futurities and everything? Is that where you want to grow your business?
Right. No, the futurities are awesome, especially as much money as they're paying right now. I'd like to get more team roping horses for the futurities. The horse shows have always been good to me. That's kind of been that's the way I've made my living for the last 15 years. I haven't been to one this year since, I guess we went to Fort Worth, and that's been the only one I've been to this year. So it's been a little bit slow this year, but I haven't missed it a whole lot. But
yeah. Now, with the futurities, are you, I know I hear guys talk about the judging all the time and not really understanding the judging, or it's just so different from the AQHA shows, but it's so different from the rodeos. How do you feel like you have a pretty good handle on how the judging is?
They judge the futurity different. I think the futurity is judged a little bit different than the quarter horse shows. I like the way the futurity is judged. They try to judge it a little bit more. They're trying to judge a good rope horse. I mean, in some of them, some of the head horses that have won are a little bit, they're showy, but they were big and pretty and broke, and they use their butt. And I think that's where I think the biggest difference is, like in the show world, they want them on their butt a little bit more than maybe the jackpotters. We set them more than I think you would at the rodeos or jackpots. But they want a big, pretty broke horse. I think that's what. Yeah. But I like the way they're judging the futurity, because they're trying, like the heel horses rode up around the corner and kept their shoulders up. I'm judging, so I'm a AQHA roping judge, and I'm judging the Youth World this year. But in the world, the whole roping, they definitely judge the quarter horse show. They judge the heading a lot differently. They wanted more of a showy horse, that one that'll slide and really broke and can face fast on their hind end. Yeah.
Now, I want to circle back to something you had said a little bit ago. You said you were working on your heading. What are you working on with your heading right now?
Well, I'm trying to get better at reaching. When I was younger, when I was in college, I headed decent. I actually team roped a lot growing up. And then when I started rodeoing, I team roped a little bit, but I was probably better at calf roping, and I just I went more towards that and slowed down team roping a little bit. But now, I had a better calf horse too at the time, and I had trouble. Never really found a great head horse. So now I'm working on my heading, and have a pretty good head horse I bought from T. Willman a couple of years ago. It's been a little struggle learning how to reach, but still working at it. I'm pretty good at catch. I can catch them close and from a coil away, but the 2 and 3 colts has been work.
What do you do to keep, now if you bought one from T. Woman, is that head horse, like, is he show horse caliber, or is he one that is really?
No, he's more of a jackpot rodeo. He doesn't, he's pretty, like, I like him, and he'll get on his butt, but he doesn't have a slide or he faces like a rodeo horse, not a show horse.
What are you doing to practice your reaching? Are you just doing it?
A lot on the dummy, and then I practice some on. I probably only reach. I'll run 7 or 8 steers a day where I try to reach at. I need a practice horse that I can just practice reaching on, but I'm so busy riding horses that I get paid for. It's hard to ride one just for me all the time.
Yeah. Are you What are the horses that you've got for the futurity now? Can you tell us how they're bred?
Yeah, so I have well, I'm not sure I can tell all the breedings, but I have a really, really nice 4-year-old gelding for Cam Beardman. And I really, really like him. And he's going to calf. Well, and this year I'm showing him the calf rope in futurity at the 4th of July. He's a reining bred. I think he's I hate to say it wrong. I think he's a Wisdom Tinseltown. But I really, really like him. Big stopper, really quiet. Then I have the Starlight's Gypsy, 4-year-old mare that's a heel horse and going to be a calf horse too.
Is it one that came through Larry D and them, or
no? Well, I like the breeding through there because I've roped a lot with Larry D, and I showed Hope's black mare Ink. A couple of years. She's awesome, and so I really like the breeding. So actually, I found her last year. I saw the breeding, and I knew the people that raised her, and I knew her mom too. And I liked that breeding so much that we bought her, and then I sold her to a customer. But she's got a really good attitude and loves roping. And then I have Roanie's baby too. That's a 5-year-old, and I haven't showed her yet, but she's getting there.
With the different running bred breeding that she's got, what do you have to do different with her than you do with
she wants to go, like she has a lot of run, and so I have to keep her quiet. And she's pretty, like she's really good in a box. And I read one of Trevor's articles last year about working on the scoring before you ever introduce them to cattle, and that really has helped a lot of them. So I started working on her in the box and got her where she'd stand in my hand, like where I could really hold her in the corner, and then she'd go off my hand before I ever introduced her to cattle. And that really helped her because she's been great in the box the whole time. And for about a year, I'd get off of her in the box and let her relax in the box before I ever roped on her, and that really helped her.
Wow. I love that. When Trevor and I sat down to like come up with his column, that was something that was a goal of ours, was to do something that would really be useful for people. And to hear somebody like you use it, that's amazing.
Well, I liked it. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. That you made my day. You have no idea. Very cool. Now, and when you need help with your roping, who do you go to if you're working on something?
Shay Carroll helped me quite a bit with my heeling. I rode a horse for him. I showed him the horse he's rodeoing on right now. I showed him and got him qualified for him a couple of years, and then he showed him at the World Show. And he helped me with my heeling a lot. My heading, I've been watching a lot of videos. Evan Arnold's been coming to rope with me this spring, and that's been awesome. But
very good.
Heading, I've changed my swing about 3 or 4 times. I was trying to turn it over more to reach, and then I don't know. Then it almost got too complicated for the rodeo, and I needed to make it simpler, so I changed it again. So hopefully it's going to work.
Now, what did you change? Just you simple.
So I was really turning it over before the right horn, and really trying to get a wide swing, and it worked great. Like I could really catch with it, but I was having to think about too many things. Like I was having to think about turning it over to the right, but then I was throwing. Then this falling through the left, and it was, at the rodeos when I was reaching, it was like too complicated. And I'm trying to make it more simple, where I'm looking at the base of the left horn and swinging towards it. But is where I was turning it over at, and then I have to have it flatter so it doesn't go off to the left. So I'm working on it. But then you got to keep it turned over to have the power to reach, I guess. So I'm trying to make it simpler actually, but I'm trying to keep it flatter. I'm trying to keep it simpler, aim at the base of the left and swing towards there, but keep it flatter coming around the right horn. Yeah, it's work in progress.
Understand. Well, we will see at Mesquite when you start to win every week at Mesquite that it's
It was fast last week.
Well, I bet everybody's so hungry for it right now.
Everybody's home.
Yeah. All these tiny rodeos are going to be so tough. If they weren't already tough enough, they're going to be really tough. Very good. Now, we mentioned Pseudo M before, but how long have you been with that brand?
I've been with them for 10 or 12, maybe 15. I mean, a long time. I don't really remember when I started because I've been with them forever. And I love their formula. I can see a difference with them. Roanie's got it every day for the last 10 or 15 years. But right now I got most of them on it. I can see a big difference.
Very good. Very good, sir. Well, CR, thank you so much for this impromptu phone call and letting me pick your brain about horse training and stuff. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a great day. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks again to our sponsors at ManaPro. ManaPro is a recognized leader in the care and nurturing of pets with roots back to 1842 and long-established brands in companion pet, equine, backyard chicken, and small animal categories. ManaPro's product is Cetol M, and you can check that out at scorejointhealth.com. Thank you, CR, so much for your time. Thank you, everybody, for listening to The Score today. We've got more good stuff coming as the rodeos kick up and we're out and about a little more and see folks. But if not, I will see you at the BFI, and I can't wait to tell you all about it.